Hey guys, here's my top 5 picks for the best found footage movies. Again, this is my opinion for all the picks on this list, so if you don't like it, haters gonna hate. Oh my god, that was bad. Anyway, I hope you enjoy what you see here, and let's go.
Surprise, motherfucker!
It does feel stupid adding this movie to the list, as I know it is popular and basically everyone knows it, but nevertheless, it clocks in at number 5 on my list. The Blair Witch Project, along with Cannibal Holocaust, was the film that really kickstarted this subgenre of filmmaking. When watching this movie, you will either be one of the two people, the first being they hate the film and think it is terrible or boring, or the second, the one who lets their imagination do the talking for them, making the film achieve its scare factor. I can say that there isn't too much going on at the start of the film with the main characters going around asking people about the infamous Blair Witch. However, once they reach their destination, the shit kicks in and stuff can get pretty creepy at times. I even heard some trivia that the director would purposely screw with the actors by hiding certain things from them that weren't scripted that helped the movie actually look real at times, and it definitely seems that way in some points. Honestly, there isn't too much to say about this film. I can sum it up saying that you need an imagination to enjoy it, and it's something that you have to see for yourself to experience it fully.
Right, what have we got here? What the f*** is that? Hey, there was a camera on a tripod next to your bed last night. I took it off because it's kind of creepy, man. You idiot! I was trying to catch ghosts.
As you can see, I've picked the first 3 Paranormal Activity movies for this list, as I think the ones after number 3 are really bad. So I've narrowed it down to the first 3 which I think are the best. In this franchise, we have cameras placed around a house during the night when things start getting a little bit too out of the ordinary. When the cameras aren't rolling during the night, we get footage from the daytime where the characters record their daily life, in which we get to know them better and see what they're all about. You can argue that these scenes are rather boring, however I found them perfect for character development and a great build-up of waiting for the next night to begin where the real scares happen. And speaking of scares, the franchise has a lot of them, however the earlier films aren't too typical on the jump scares, aside from number 3 however. And it is more the atmosphere and knowing there's something there that is the scariest thing. The night scenes were done very well in my opinion. I always looked forward to seeing what happened next, and how the story would progress after the atrocities of the last night took place. Aside from these movies, the series gets ridiculous afterwards and becomes a cash-grabbing movie franchise. However, we still have this neat bundle of 3 movies that can be enjoyed and earn 4th place on my list.
Welcome to Ghostbusters.com.au. Today we'll be visiting this house for one of our haunted house specials. Come on inside. You scared me. Cut. Alright, you know what? Go run yourself a bath and kill yourself. Okay. I'm not dead yet.
Continuing with the paranormal vibe, Grave Encounters is next, coming in at number 3. We follow filmmakers and actors who are making a paranormal show based on the abandoned place they are visiting. Little do they know that this time there is something awaiting them. Again, the film, like many others on this list, starts off slow, but the build-up is what makes it. The shit hits the fan of characters disappearing and weird manipulations of the mansion. The idea is very well done. It's like seeing a behind the scenes of what it's like on all those haunted house shows we saw back in the day. It's there we get to see what the characters are really like instead of portraying the sinister approach of being a serious presenter. A lot of people argued that when you saw the actual monsters that it was really bad and the makeup was garbage. In all honesty though, I thought it was pretty terrifying. Another complaint was for the sequel. I went into it with very low expectations from all the negativity surrounding it, but came out rather satisfied as it was actually pretty good. A lot of the movies in this whole found footage genre really need to be just taken for how they are, mediocre filmmaking that's really fun. I thought that the movie was very interesting and at times scary. It's not going to be a film for everyone, but it was for me, so it came in at number 3 on my list. First off, let me just say that these two movies are way better than the American remake, Quarantine. Okay, onto the movie. Record follows a news reporter and a cameraman who are doing interviews around the workplace of emergency services. All of a sudden, a real emergency occurs and a TV presenter and a cameraman follow them to the location to get some coverage for their report. It's to their incredible bad luck they get trapped in a sealed off building reeking of a new virus type turning people into crazed zombie maniacs. Brilliant. The movie is terrifying. I was covering my eyes, scared to what would happen next, while people were picked off one by one by this aggressive virus. Characters were all around likeable and the horror was genuine. The film also never seemed to stop on pace. It was like an adrenaline rush all the way through and it was great. The sequel to Record is just as good too. However, I really can't say too much about it as it completely spoils the plot for the first film. Check it out.
The little willy, I put it in my bum, move my
My favourite found footage movies, the VHS series. Now, if it wasn't for the second movie, then this probably wouldn't be number 1 on my list, as the first film was a bit lacking, I admit. But holy shit, the second movie was balls out ridiculous. It was scary, funny, gory, it had everything packed in with subtle doses of each element, making it one of the most entertaining found footage movies I've ever seen. The main plotline follows a group of people who stumble into a house to find this one VHS tape. They begin viewing them and discover some sick videos of what's really going on. Sure, the plot can get random and silly at times, but that was the whole fun of it. Some tapes do lack, however. Some on the first movie are really quite mediocre, but there are gems spread throughout the series that makes the other disappointing tapes forgiven. It is a movie by some people that can be considered average at best, but for me, this series was worthy for my number 1 pick for the top 5 found footage movies.